Well, good morning from Studio 57 here in New York. I'm Anne-Marie Green.
And I'm Jeff Glor in for Vladimir Duthier.
It is 10 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is where things stand in the midterm elections so far. Some of the races haven't turned out the way many predicted. With 5 Senate races still not projected, it's a toss-up. Who will control the upper chamber? Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Alaska still do not have projected winners.
Control of the House is leaning Republican, but just barely. Democrats overall are doing much better than originally expected. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now with more on the Biden administration's response to the results so far. Weijia, how is the White House reacting this morning?
Well, good morning to you and good morning to everyone. You know, the White House is very happy this morning. They are excited. They feel like they are vindicated. And frankly, they're a little surprised, I think, that things went the way they did, because even though they were trying to set expectations and say that, look, they believe the president and his agenda will, cause people to go to the ballot, to go to the polls and to cast their ballots. Of course, behind the scenes, there was concern because of all these predictions of a red wave. And I was here last night until very late, 2 in the morning, which is why I'm slurring some words. But I can tell you that they were in a very celebratory mood, especially as the president watched returns with his advisors, with staffers, and then went to the dining room next to the Oval Office to begin making several rounds of calls to congratulate Democrats. And then we also know that late in the night, even after he had turned in, because that Senate race in Pennsylvania was called so late, he texted Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman to wish him congratulations. So the mood here is a high one, although, of course, they have to face the reality, which is that it still looks like Republicans could take over the House. But I will say that they do believe that they have a real shot at keeping control of the Senate, which is really important, especially when you think about all the potential federal judge confirmations to come. And so I think that, to answer your initial question, things are going well here.
So, though, you did bring up the House, and at this point, anyway, it looks like the House will lean Republican. What plan does the administration have to tackle the challenge in the, 2 more years of the president's administration trying to get stuff done?
Well, in some ways, this White House has already been preparing for this reversal. Republicans have already vowed to launch a flurry of investigations, from everything from Dr. Fauci's role during the beginning of the pandemic to Hunter Biden's business dealings. And so they have been beefing up their teams to deal with any potential investigations. They are also well aware that it's not only about the agenda items that remain on the president's to-do list, but the ones that he has already passed, because Republicans have also said that they plan to repeal many pieces of those. For example, the ability for Medicare to negotiate drug prices and slap fees on big drug corporations if their prices go up. That could go away. Climate provisions could go away. The requirement to build electric charging vehicles around the country could go away. And so at this point, it's also about protecting what they've already passed, and that is going to be a tough road ahead because of the gridlock that we are already expecting. So, at least at this point, they are saying, look, even though they did lose seats in the House, it could have been much worse. And I think that is carrying some optimism, because aides believe that last night shows that people care and approve of the president's agenda.
Weijia, I mentioned the White House is recalibrating a little bit this morning based on expectations. For them, recalibrating to the better side. When do we hear from the president in terms of a big speech or some speech post-election?
Well, we know that he is expected to make remarks sometime today. What we don't know is what time. We don't know where he will make them, and we don't know what the format of that will be. In the past, presidents have held news conferences the day after the midterms so that, we, the press, could ask questions and try to get a better understanding of how they view the results and what that means for his agenda, for the American public moving forward. But this White House has not committed to a press conference. They have said that the president takes questions all the time, that we will hear from him, but we don't know what that will look like. Whatever it looks like, we'll be here.
I'm sure you will. Weijia, thank you very much.
Sure.